Days be the worst of your tomorrows. Whoa, may the road less paved be the road that you follow. Whoa, well, here's that you gonna break. Here's to the lives that you gonna change. Here's to the infinite possible ways to love. she turned 18, all dressed in white. As we step into this field, we bring to you, hopefully, the ability to hear me. And borrowed something blue. Can you guys hear me? And when I took I don't want to get banned from YouTube. Hold on, let me turn this music. What's going on here? Oh, this is an echo from my other ones. As we step into this field, we've been hold on, guys. This is an easy fix. Yeah, it's got an echo. There. Okay, so should be on Facebook and on Patreon. Sorry about that. The lesson that I was teaching was basically about how there's pieces of us inside of us that want our healing blocked, that want us to not, like, it's that piece of us that's like, you're such an idiot. Oh my God, you're so dumb. Oh God, I hate you. That piece of you is the piece that comes out when you start to do meditations like the ones that I do, where not only you're just meditating, I'm dropping into each person's field and I'm going in and pulling out what looks like to me like little, like, I was describing them before. Like floaters, you know how you see like floaters that they're supposedly from like toxins in your liver or something like that, or kidneys or something like that. But it's but I see like a whole bunch of them like clumped together. So when I drop into someone's field and I see a whole bunch of those, I know that they're memories basically. And it makes me think of I don't know if you guys have seen Stranger Things. You know, Stranger Things, where the girl like goes into like the guy's memories and she sees like the mom, the dad fighting. Like I see like little scenes and stuff like that. And then I just ask that God clear them, or, you know, do whatever I do. And I just see this hand come down and just kind of like erase them. It's like they're not even there anymore. Like it's like they're no longer part of their thinking process, and like new neural pathways and new thoughts and habits and things like that can start to form in the brain, because we're just the same person over and over and over and over, and we don't have to be the same person over and over and over. Like they say in science, it's like every 7 years or something, we're a completely different person based on the cells that we are. All of our cells make up, I guess, who we are. But is that really who we are? I don't think so. I think that who we are is yes, it's our cells, it's our DNA. But I think it's also the emotional charge that's put on our life that makes our life who we are. So you and someone could have the exact same DNA. You could be a clone of somebody. And based on your experiences, your ideas, your emotions, your emotional charge around politics or religion or whatever is getting people all heated up nowadays, is going to change your life experience by so much, because you're going to see it completely different. So who is that sees that differently? Is that our spirit? Is it our soul? Is it our consciousness? Is it our awareness? Is it something much greater beyond the I am, beyond the I, beyond the we, beyond the me, beyond the everything? And I think it is. I think that when we can actually just sit there and think about God being separate from us, I think because it is. And I think that we are that which created God to rule the universe, to rule, we made the laws of the universe. We made, everything that, and not like making, like my dad mapped out housing developments growing up. By the way, my dad's going to be here tomorrow. I'm excited. But everything has like the laws of the universe. You hear about the law of attraction,
people want to manifest. And I was talking about that earlier in class. Like, don't use the word manifest, because if you're trying to manifest something, first of all, it sounds like you have to be a magician to like, voila, here's $1 million. And then it also, there's judgment behind it. Like, am I doing this right? Am I manifesting correctly? Oh gosh, I hope I'm spiritual enough or good enough to manifest this right. Like, just use a different word. Just use a different word. There's certain words that bug me, like conscious uncoupling and manifestation are two, and love and light. Love and light to me means I'm going to say something really rude, and then I'm just going to say love and light. So my students know that I think that it means something completely opposite than love and light. But anyways, so I was going to do the meditation. Hopefully I can't see any of the Zoom stuff. I can see YouTube. Usually I can see the chat. I can't see any chat here. Hopefully everyone got this. I just want to make sure that everybody is logged in that was on the meeting before. I wonder if here we go. I know what I'm going to do. Copy invite link. I'm going to send it over to Rochelle. Maybe she can get this. I went into our ticketing system to send it over to them. But hopefully this is also on Patreon as well. This is what happens. Okay, so my internet's hooked up. It's good. I'm at my office. Everything's working perfectly. And the second I started talking about clearing the root of people's unhappiness and their addiction, and I started talking about COVID, literally, when I said COVID is an energetic disease, blah, 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 it's like it was just gone. I'm going to send this link to a bunch of people. There we go. Anyone that's just watching this on YouTube, I apologize. I have so much expensive equipment to make sure that stuff like this doesn't happen. But I guess there's just really no way. What's funny is this is actually a class on having psychic attacks, and I'm literally having psychic attacks right now. It's actually kind of like funny. So this is Scott. Here we go. Just sending it to everybody that I have their phone number. There we go. That's good enough. I think that'll spread the word. Debbie, Christina. So I had everybody that was in class, I sent them over a picture of a snow globe, just having them draw like on it, just whatever came to mind. Just kind of like, like if they felt like they had like a spike coming out of the side of the snow globe, then draw a spike there, whatever. And what I do is I can go in and I'll find the root of all the little spike type things, and I can release those. And my intention for doing these is usually to release the root of any sort of like addiction. We went through and we were talking about core issues, hereditary. That all comes from the Theta books. I don't really practice Theta, but I do kind of like how they break up the issues that we have, like the subconscious issues that we have, into like family or, ancestral or, stuff like that. Yay, people are starting to log in. Okay, good. What a mess, huh, guys? Rochelle's here, good. Okay. Oh, yeah, here comes everybody. You should have seen me just like running downstairs, getting the laptop. This one was fully charged and it was dead when I got there. I got a new Microsoft Surface something or other. That wouldn't work. Oh, look what's working now. Oh, just a coincidence. So this is an example of a psychic attack, guys. And like I said, I'm welcoming it, obviously. I'm needing it in my life for some reason. And, you know, a lot of the times I think it's to prove that there's actually something else out there, that we're not just making stuff up. And I think my dad gets just as like bewildered by it, like, how does this happen? Like the internet works perfectly, and then the second we start talking about spirit or whatever, it's like it's gone. It's just like, my gosh, give me a break. So, anyways, I'm laying on the floor of my other office now. Um, did everybody have a chance to create their like best like BADASS, just in case there's kids listening, like avatar self? Mine is Kara from The Legend of the Seeker. If you look her up, she's like in this like red like suit, and she carries this like baton thing that's like all like, if anyone touches it, they're like all they like get electrocuted. It's all good, Riche. Perfect. It's perfect. That's perfect. I couldn't get into the webinar, and I couldn't get into the link because that computer shut down. That's the possessed computer, though. That's the one that was at my office, and I swear there's weird stuff on it. I haven't used it in ages, but let me go grab the camera off of it. That camera was actually really good that I had set up. Actually, I can just move over there. Now that they turn the air on over there. So here's our book, The Snow Globe. And let me just explain to you guys something about the snow globe that not even my dad understands. The snow globe is like a full-blown back in the radio room. There we go. Do you hear me now? Okay. All right. So what I was saying was the snow globe. What my dad does not even realize, my dad, is that this is like a full-blown like quantum healing technique that was kind of like derived from why am I coughing all of a sudden? I have Madison's apple juice. A combination between quantum healing. It's all about quantum physics. The act of observing is what makes it happen. The law of correspondence, the law of hermetics, which is like as above, so below. There's Bible verses about it. But mostly this the channeling that we did for the snow globe, and it was me trying to explain all these like complex metaphysical things that I was learning from the guides with my friends that I would channel with to my dad, and he would come over and be like, "What?" And so Jesus came in and channeled this thing about the snow globe. And I'm not going to read the whole thing, it's long. But I liked one thing that was put in here because last class, was it last class? We talked about the eternal flame. Was it last class? Why am I coughing? I keep thinking that I got COVID on energetically. So I keep having the symptoms. If I was like all like needing to be sick right now, I would totally be like, oh, I'm sick. I'm not. So you guys can hear me good. Okay, perfect. So do you guys remember which class that was about the eternal flame? Was that last Wednesday? Or was that, oh, that was me and Scott last night we discovered, I think. So there's a song that I wanted to play. YouTube will X me out, but I don't care because this isn't for them. It's for, they don't turn it off when I play the song. Okay, it's like a different version of, my husband hears this, he would laugh.
Close your eyes, give me your hand, darling. Do you feel my heart beating? Do you understand? Do you feel the same? Or am I only dreaming?
Bringing all of your attention and awareness into your eternal flame. What it feels like. The one if you can't feel anything. Ask the eternal flame to burn away anything blocking you from the exercise that we're going to do. So in your mind, just say, bring all of my attention and awareness into my eternal flame that is separate from my beating heart. Take me into my eternal flame that's separate from my beating heart. Feel what it feels like. And hit a 1 if you can feel nothing. You can hear me, right? By the way, I'm not stoned. Jen did my eyelashes and we got glue in my eyes, I think, or something. Okay, you can't feel anything? Okay, so I want you to imagine that you are a flame right here, like right beneath your belly button. That you have this bubble around you. Maybe it does or does not have water in it. It just doesn't matter. It doesn't need to be a snow globe. But just kind of imagine that like field around you, or imagine that picture in front of you. And just imagine like a little flame burning. And then in your mind, just say, take me into the middle of that. You can say, is that my eternal flame? If not, take me into my eternal flame. And you'll feel like swept up into it. Nicole, I'm going to melt. What's that? Shelly, Nicole, and Aaron are all frozen in an ice block. That's why I brought my frozen pencil. It's on the floor of the other room. Hold on a second. So, okay, so it's going to anybody watching this, listening to this now and in the future can receive healing from this by witnessing it on their own. But the people that are in the class, I'm going to go ahead and witness melting away the ice that is around your heart. You've frozen your heart. There we go. Oh. Do you girls feel that difference, the shift? That's like huge. Is there anyone else that feels like they're kind of like stuck in like a frozen block or something like that when they ask to be taken into their eternal flame? I know, Aaron, I can breathe for you. You know, I'm someone I love very much. I always see in a block. And then at one point when someone did a healing on me a long time ago, I would always see myself going like stuck in a block of ice. It was really scary. So basically, if you guys are frozen, this part, sorry, I didn't mean to scream into that. When the statue experiences emotions, when they experience human emotions, these emotions cause fogging inside of the snow globe. Every time that the statue experiences something negative or something they believe is bad, colored snowflakes will be created. When one does so many things that they believe are bad, those snowflakes thicken and thicken and thicken so that the light coming from above isn't as strong anymore. And what I see is they thicken and thicken so much and it's so painful that instead of like processing them and releasing them, it's like you just go like, well, just screw it. I'm just going to like freeze my snow globe. I'm just going to freeze it so that I can't feel it. But in doing that, we're freezing ourselves. We're freezing our subconscious mind and the beliefs that we have when we're that age. So ask yourself, how old is the me that was frozen in that block? Christy, describe weird to me. This heart, like the beating heart, or like the heart center? Like fluttery almost? Sure, it's fluttery. Okay, hold on. Let me go ahead and balance you out real quick. A lot of people will go to the hospital because they think that they're having a heart attack because of the fluttering, but it's actually just your consciousness, like being able to move into a space where it hasn't been able to move before. So it's kind of like a whoa, where am I? What's going on? And it like activates that area. Just like if you touch your leg, you're going to feel something there. Same with that. I need to get a Kleenex. I'm about to sneeze. Christy, I'm going to clear you real quick. Hold on, let me ground you. And anyone else that has weird fluttering, let me know, and I'll clear you there too. But I'm going to sneeze. I have my paper. I'm getting that the aspect of us that's frozen is Neptune, like the planet maybe. If Glenn's online, he'd know what Neptune means as far as the planet goes. I think that because we are the universe and we are our consciousness and awareness was created by the same stardust that created the universe. And if we're all holograms, then technically we're all the planets too, right? Look at my wig. It's like my warrior princess chick wears this. There you go. I'm like, no, thank you. We were talking about earlier, different hair makes like different people. You're getting 16. Christy, how's your heart feel? Twitchy, yes. Okay, so you know how when I shift your guy's subconscious and your left eye goes like twitches or your right eye twitches? It's the same thing. Like if you can imagine, shoot, I left it down in the car. You can imagine like I can draw this so you guys can see it. I always draw the best people. They look like weird aliens. This person has like no shoulder, no neck, no hands. Okay. Here's a fabulous person that I draw right there. Okay. So that would be your consciousness. Okay. So that's your consciousness, aka soul, soul's brain. So that's like your soul's brain projects and creates this. Okay. So that's like your consciousness. Okay. And that's what you call yourself. Your I am. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, I had this nailed up on the wall. The thumbtack just poked me. There's your I am is there, and it's like a little, let's just call it a little star or an asterisk. And from there, so your I am basically reflects upon itself so that it creates the soul. It's like in like a water's reflection, basically. And the Bible speaks about the water a lot, and we talk about the water a lot. So this is a reflection of you, basically. I guess he's kind of backwards. He should be the other way because if the feet are here, the feet would be there. So let's just pretend like that's upside down. So anyways, so then the consciousness that's a reflection of the I am or the creator, God or whatever, which by the way, you're not even that. You're the thing up here. Let's make a little cloud. You're the thing up here, basically, that became aware of itself, split, and then said, oh, I'm going to create something. I'm going to reflect upon myself. I'm going to create something, and then I'm going to dive down into it. And when I dive down into it, I'm going to forget that I'm this and this. I'm going to forget that. And that's going to be really cool. And I'm going to experience all this pain. And I'm going to experience all this horrible, awful stuff. And it's going to be such a great lesson. Not lesson. It's going to be such a great experience. So once, when kids are, in fact, I get this off my, sorry, hold on. I would just do it on the little whiteboard, but I can't draw little people on there. Okay, so the consciousness, so when I talk about consciousness, that's what we're talking about, okay? So the I am reflects upon itself and it creates the consciousness of like a soul. That soul, that reflection, then thinks it's real. It's like, oh, I'm real. And I'm going to go create. So within that consciousness, it creates a world. And that world is right here in the solar plexus. So it creates a world within its gut, okay? Within the gut is where you would consider you are. Your ego is like right here. I guess you have no head. That's where your beating heart is. I guess we do have a head. I can't draw. Amber, I need your help. So there's like the, it's like hanging upside down. So see there, it creates this world. Looks like a little peace sign. This consciousness creates a world and it creates a personality, creates a person, and that's you, okay? You have a beating heart, you have a brain, you have the whole works. You're in here, and this is Earth, okay? So you're inside of Earth, living in Earth. But as the years go by, what they're saying is that, I don't want to get too complicated, is that we shift between different Earths and stuff like that. So what's happening is this, the witness up here, that then became aware of itself, that then said, oh, I'm going to go create this, let's call it a little spiral thing. This little spiral thing is going to go into basically like the densest consciousness that we are, which would be the ego. So it's sitting here above this egoic world right here that we've created. And it's just conducting energy. Like I was saying, it's conducting energy, boing, 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 bouncing, creating energy to remind us that we are it. Okay, you may want to call it the Holy Spirit. I don't know what you want to call it. It doesn't matter. It's an energy conductor. It's a coil. And it basically is right here all the time. So when you get attuned and when you start to become spiritually awakened, that's when that spring that you are that's experiencing life is this egoic person in fear and I'm going to die of COVID and oh, I'm going to die. Oh, the politics or oh, the 2% of the world is ruling the world. It's like, who cares? Who cares? We chose to come down here into a world where that may be a possibility. Who cares? It's like, if you do, then it affects you. If you don't, then it's like, live your life, enjoy your family, enjoy your kids, enjoy life like we were supposed to do rather than, trying to discover whether Bill Gates is putting a freaking microchip in us or not. Sure, if they are, they already did. I mean, if they're going to come out with it, I'm sure it already happened like 25 years ago. It feels like it already happened 27 years ago, actually, to me. Anyways, so there's a little springy thing. So when you become spiritually awakened, what happens is you become aware of this guy. And when you become aware of this guy, your ego going like, oh, you suck or blah, 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 you rise up and your head ends up right here. You have like a death of the ego and a soul resurrection. So you end up right there, like standing up. That's what we call the seat of the soul in the snow globe. Here's like the left rib, right ribs. It's that little bone right there. So that's like a soul resurrection. When you are in this state of consciousness, you are basically working off of I just heard the trifecta of energies within the center of the head. The soft spot of the head. I don't know what that means. Oh, okay. Yeah. So now we have a piece of us in there. So what do you think is happening right now with COVID, guys? The death of the ego, and the people that really don't think there's anything beyond ego are there. This is not moving into here. This is the lungs. They can't breathe. It's like can't breathe because this earth right here that we've created has risen up and is now like right here. Our head is partially in it. So the earth is like now up here. So in order to be in this earth, we have to be up here. If we died here, we're still down in that earth. And believe it or not, all of us are still there. And all the people that died are still there. And they don't know they died. And they're just there and everyone's just living life. Just like we don't know that everybody that we know and love is just experiencing life up here. But we were stuck down there hanging upside down like little bats. Being like all, we're angry, we're pissed, pit, you know. But when we can rise up here, and actually his arms are like actually out like that. Yeah, it's kind of like the cross. It's interesting. There's like a little platform here, and then the stick goes all the way up into the center of the brain, up into the pituitary and the pineal and the thalamus, hypothalamus. Interesting. Anyway, so when I look at people, that's what I see. So I'll see somebody like standing there, and like I'll see like their person, like especially with kids. Like we were with our family this weekend, and I saw that her daughter was like this. Like her feet were on like one side and her body was on the other. I was like, what the heck is going on with her? And I was like, oh my gosh, that's her spark from the earth and that's her light from God. Because I always ask the kids where their spark and their light is. And a lot of the kids that are, have learning disabilities and stuff, if I pull their spark and their light back into them, then all of a sudden they're just better. Hypothalamus. Interesting. That's where you guys feel constriction right there. Yeah, because the ego is being forced up. So if you're hanging upside down, the earth is moving, you're hanging upside down and you're still an angry ASS, you're going to feel it within you. Because once you get up into these areas of your body, you're in like the heavenly realms, right? So right here is the soul flame, right there, within our bodies. But the thing is with you guys, all the ones coming to my class, you guys are activated in this whole thing. So you guys should more be seeing it like a little person inside of you, like on Maui, Maui from Moana. He has a little dude that runs around inside of him. Whereas other people that don't have the activation, the DNA activation, they just see their ego. I mean, they just see the fear. They don't understand anything beyond this little weird little upside down world. And what cracks me up is it's actually what's the ones that are in fear are actually right here. They've actually fallen out of the old earth and into a created reality that someone's created. I just heard Orion. Orion's created a false reality. But look where their heads are. They really are wearing underwear on their face. Literally, the people in fear that have fallen out of this earth and into this alternate reality that whoever Orion is created to feed Orion's energy. So Orion could continue to exist. Let's see, Orion, Erraticus, Azrael, not the cat from Gargamel, Azrael, Leviticus, Triceratoptenash, Ecton, Lod, Fersa, Ursa, Kava. That's what that thing's called. Whatever that being is, I don't know. Anyways, yeah, the head is down like in like the crotch area. So like mask is like underwear. Get it? Anyway, not meaning to offend anybody. Totally wear my mask where I'm supposed to. I'm not about to be the person that creates somewhat like if someone sees me without a mask in their head, they want to be, or they think they're sick or they're going to get sick and see me without a mask, they're going to create by placebo COVID and then they're going to get sick. And I don't want to be the reason for somebody's placebo sickness or real sickness, so that's why I have a respect for that because of other people. And I'm not necessarily, I'm not for or against, and I'm not about politics whatsoever at all. You guys know me enough to know that I'm not political. Masks shouldn't be made political, by the way. But anyways, okay, so that's how I see people. So the eternal flame is right here. Like down right at the base of our root, the eternal flame. Oh my gosh, you guys, that's why I was seeing people with burnt crowns, remember? Is the eternal flame our sun? I have a Victoria's Secret mask, so mine totally looks like underwear. It literally says Victoria's Secret on the side. It's so comfortable, you can totally breathe through it. I have a pink one from Pink too. Archangel of Death is Azrael. Ew. I'm not channeling him. I just heard that was the name of the being that was creating the false reality. And everyone's like oh, Disney and Hollywood and this and that. And maybe those beings are working through them, but it almost feels like they're fighting against them in some way, shape, or form, trying to preserve Earth. Eternal flames, the sun, yeah, that's what it feels like to me. Let me ask what the sun is called. Aka? What's the eternal flame sun? Aka. AKA, also known as. Aka. It's AKA. That's it. That's all they're going to give me. They said they could give me more, but they're going to get off track completely and we're never going to meditate. So let's meditate. I'm going to teach you guys how to use the eternal flame to use that to burn away any frozen pieces of yourself that are like trapped in the past or trapped like pissed at your mom or dad or like, I still remember passionately talking about how upset like with my dad I was, when I was like almost 30 years old. It's like I was almost 30 and it was like, yeah, he did this or he did that, when it was all like totally me, like 100%. You know, like if Madison did the things to me that I did to my dad, like I would just like, my mom too. I was a typical drug addict, you know, just did anything I could to lie to everybody and tell them that I was not, you know, that I was clean. But then I needed money and I needed to get bailed out of jail and I needed this and that, you know, and then I'd tell them the truth and they would help me. And then, you know, I'd go and do it again. It was just so dumb. So it's like, I saw inside of you. I see those, Brittany. They're right here. Yeah, those are the glass things I was seeing the other day. So anyone who filled out the snow globe thing, can you do me a favor and send me a picture of it? Just text it to, I put my number right here. Oh, I can't chat. That's right. Oh wait, maybe I can. Just text it to that number or to healing@discoverintuition.com. And I'll make sure after class, I usually do it as an add-on for like $250, but I made you guys wait forever and I feel bad. And I'll do it after class and I'll work on it tomorrow. And get rid of all the like stuff. Because basically my intention was that whatever you drew on there wasn't supposed to be there. And then I'll be releasing it from you. So you'll feel shifts and tingles and weird feelings. Oh, by the way, I ran into a guy at the grocery store last night and I was like, so you still playing your music? And he's like, nah, my pinky's shot. And I was like, oh, really? I was like, is it like numb and like tingly and frozen? He goes, yeah, the doctor says this and this. And I said, well, your pinky actually is what connects to your heart. I was told, like I said, my friend Sue told me the meridian goes all the way to your heart. I said, and your heart is where all your energy is conducted. Your heart existed before your brain even existed. So when people pass over, they'll tune into that piece of you so you get that tickly feeling on your back. It's because somebody's tuning into and pulling from you energy. So your pinky goes numb. And he goes, I'm Christian. I don't believe in any of that. And I was like, okay, fine, whatever. I said, just go home and look up heart meridian, pinky. And I was like, do you know anyone that's passed away lately? And he goes, yeah, I know about 9. And I was like, well, I said, you Christians believe in evil spirits. I said, that could be like an astral shell of one of your friends that something dark has taken over and your friend's in heaven and they're using his body to pull your energy from you. So spirits and nasty stuff like that is gross. It's nasty, it's disgusting. You want to do whatever you can to not live in the 4th dimension, which is what we're cleaning up tonight, which is where you have which is where you have the psychic attacks, which is where the you that wants to have the psychic attacks. You know, I just heard my whole reason for having this happen was to prove to me, 1, that it's real, and 2, to prove what a psychic attack is, because for some strange reason, I feel that I need to go through everything that I need to lead my students through. Like, who's going to listen to someone, like, what heroin addict's going to listen to somebody that didn't do heroin? You know, what person's going to listen to somebody that didn't, you know, go through what they went through? So it's kind of like that really, we should listen to people that haven't been through it too, because they have a different perspective, and that's probably a perspective that we need. There you go. Brittany, I just got that ice. Did you feel that? C1, nitrous oxide. Oh, I'm so tired. Okay, let's do this. I'm almost tempted to put this on my phone and then lead the meditation while I'm driving home, but what time is it right now? I can't tell. 10:15. I'm so sorry, guys. Hopefully all of you that it's late have just logged off and you'll do it tomorrow. Just make sure to come to tomorrow's replay, because tomorrow's replay will cut out all the silly stuff. And then I'll do the channeling that I wanted to channel. I wanted to channel about the state of the world. I want to do this every time we meet. I want to channel about the state of the world. I did it the other night on Facebook Live, and I erased the video on accident when I was trying to put it on private, only because they were talking about way too much like touchy subject stuff. Okay, so here we go. Let's turn on Dave from DTO. He's a friend of mine. We're going to make a little meditation album together. You can buy a membership for his site. And with that membership for his site, you can use his music like in your yoga classes or, whatever. It makes it like legal, kind of like how I did Tier 7 so that people could record my classes and transcribe them and take little snippets from them and stuff like that without being like copyright infringement. So I made Tier 7 a long time ago to let people kind of use the material that I teach and stuff like that. So it's cool. He kind of has this audio site where he has all of his music there. Where is it? And he lets you do by donation basis, but it's like a suggested donation, I think of $79 a year, which is amazing. I feel so bad for artists. It's so hard to get paid because of all the free music that everyone can get. No one ever has to pay for anything. So here we go. So the song is called Breathe. It's by DTO. So just go ahead and close your eyes. I don't know if you guys can hear it. Let's sound check it first. Can you guys hear it? Okay, now you can hear it. Trick question is, can you hear me? Can you hear me over it? Nice. Okay. This is good sound. Asking our guides, our angels, our teachers, all of those, our team of assistants, team of helpers that we brought down into this egoic center, down into the solar plexus to save us and protect us from ourselves, because we happen to be our own worst enemies in most cases. And if we were to talk to our child or a 4-year-old that was innocently looking at us the way that we talk to ourselves, we would be so ashamed of ourselves. So we'd like to ask you, God, Christ, Spirit, whatever source, ask that a source that is good, that is unconditionally loving, that is only for our highest and best good. Everybody involved in watching now and in the future that's in this class or just watching it on social media right now, just ask that each individual be placed into a cone of light. So it's like a cone that's going to come down over you, and it's just going to kind of be placed over you. And this cone of light is created by your source, by your original matter, by what created you. You are a hologram of it, but it's just going to appear as a cone of light around you, like someone's shining a flashlight over you. In fact, what we'd like for you to do is to imagine an actual hand shining light down upon you. And when you can imagine that hand above you, what we'd like for you to do is ask that hand to touch your head and allow you to feel within your heart whether it's good or bad. And if it feels bad, hit a 4 on Zoom. If it feels okay, just allow it to stay there, sending light down upon you. What about you, Julia, Shelley? Call upon a hand that belongs to only an unconditionally loving God, one that would never turn you down, one that would never turn you away, one that would never cast you out of anywhere. God that's not an enabler to allow you to do things that hurt you, but a God that helps you continue to get up over and over and over. This is what you do, dear child. You fall. All of you continue to get right back up. Each time you fall, wipe off your knees and elbows and you get right back up and you keep on moving. So that's what you're told to do. That's how you're told to live. His hand goes above your head and light down upon you. Begins to cup its hand over your head. You can feel the most amazing unconditional love coming from that hand. If it doesn't feel good, give yourself permission right now to feel love. Pretend like you have a little gas tank on your chest. You have 0 to 100% of your gas. Ask to see the percentage of love that you're allowing into your heart. There's nobody here that has over 20%. With that visualization of a gas tank, imagine that hand above you just sticking like a gas nozzle right here behind your heart. Filling up your heart with unconditional love, neutrality, friendship, true friendship. Type of friendship that isn't awkward and weird. Type of friendship that you just sit for hours, want hours and not talk and feel good. Type of friendship and love where you can go days and days or years and years without talking, and when you see each other, like you haven't skipped a beat. That's love. Pure comfort. Beyond nurturing. It's the opposite of the ego. Ego is afraid. The opposite of afraid is not courage, it's comfort. Feeling safe. So we bring down into each individual all layers of the heart, all layers of the mind, all layers of the solar plexus. Safety in the form of a liquid. As that liquid fills your heart, you can imagine it still coming in from behind your heart by your shoulder blade. Just ask that safety in the form of that song. I'll get flagged. Just feeling that safety, liquid safety, going throughout your entire body, filling up your heart, all the way through your chest cavity, your shoulders, melting down through your arms. Doesn't matter what color it is, just kind of imagine whatever safe, feeling safe is. And don't attach a person to it. Don't attach a thing to it. Just say liquid safety. Filling all layers of the heart, the mind, the solar plexus. As it does this, your body will begin to relax. Further, anxiety comes from not feeling safe. Breakups come from not feeling safe with each other. Fights, everything is due to fights. Fights within your own mind, with yourself. of whether you should feel safe in any given situation. So filling your whole body up with the safety. They really want me to play this song. I can't remember what this song is.
Now that she's back in the atmosphere with drops of Jupiter in her head.
So imagining as the safety's going into Jupiter above your head.
She acts like summer and walks like rain. Reminds me that there's
Imagine an earth inside of you, rising up through your chest, up through your neck, up through your head, and it pushes Jupiter out of the way. You have an earth above your head, illuminated, shining bright. And it begins to pour down over you the waters of the new earth, which are pure forgiveness, pure compassion, any feeling that just feels good in this world, that doesn't make us feel afraid, that doesn't make us feel scared, that doesn't make us think that somebody's trying to betray us, or all the good things, all the high vibrational feelings. This earth is, and that's all it is. And many are scared to death of this. They're scared to not be angry. For when anger does not exist within our fields, this is when we start to feel fear. It's so much easier to be angry than it is to be fearful. You're so much more powerful when you're angry than when you're afraid. So releasing from you now all the times that you're afraid of your future, afraid of your now, afraid of anything, a person, a place, a thing. So we release all the fear from each individual now, anytime they were afraid. And as we do this, tune into the heart and see how much love is allowed in now. See how much good your heart is accepting. Frozen in fear is a saying for a reason. All the ice shatters away, all the frozen pieces of you melt. The fear is gone. The afraid child crying for their parent at night and their parent wasn't coming. They knew they weren't coming, but they still cried out for them. That fear sticks. That abandonment resides within us. And then the shame when we feel as if we're doing it to our children supersedes anything and freezes our heart even faster, causing us to not be able to give the love that we wished we received when we were young. So ask how much love your heart is able to give. How much love can you give? Confidence 0. You feel like it's a weird answer, say, I am grounded within the consciousness that calls itself Marissa. I am whole and complete. Please show me where I am inside of me. I see me kind of like hanging upside down in the little ego area because we're healing our ego today. There we go. Both numbers are different. Oh, because I was channeling, duh. Okay, I'm leaving my body again. Feel the music coursing through your veins. Feel the harmony moving through you. For what you must understand, dear children, is that music is going to heal the world. Not just sound, but music, because that music comes from souls. Passes straight from those souls into the consciousness of that being, whereby that ego hanging down there is released, even if just for a moment while they sing, bringing everyone into resonance with that. So think of a song that makes you happy. Ask to see what that song looks like. If you were to see it or feel it, ask what it looks like. Is it a shape? Is it a music note? Is it a color? What does it feel like? Place it in your two hands cupped in front of you. A song that makes you happy. Not one that makes you emotional and sad and think about someone you've lost, but something that just straight makes you happy. And if you can't feel happiness, type in a 6E7 in Zoom. We're going to teach your soul what it feels like to feel happiness. In fact, we're going to teach every cell, every molecule, every particle within you the feeling of happiness, the knowing of happiness, the ability to be happy and not feel guilty for being happy when no one else is happy around you. You do not need to tear yourself down in order for others to feel good. Or they may have already felt good and you're just assuming they don't because you don't feel good. Never ever base your opinion of yourself or your actions on another. Bringing forth the energy within the kidneys, taking that happiness, the stomach, the intestines, the lungs, the throat, the head, the arms, the legs. There we go. Say, I am the me that has the ability to be happy 100% of the time. Some people believe this is not possible. But it is. I got you guys. I'm not saying your name since we're in public. But I got you, all you 67s. Injecting happiness into your lower, it's into the C4 and the L2. Activating those strands within the DNA that bring forth happiness, thinking of it like a harp, the chord that's played. Happiness, happiness, happiness. And as we play this within each of your fields that we're blocking it, you're thinking, I can't be happy. I'm not supposed to be happy. Then what will they think? If I'm happy, then I'll stop working. If I'm happy, I'll stop trying. You can try, you can learn, you can expand, you can grow, and be happy all at the same time. You can be happy about that. There we go. Knocking down the barriers of age for each individual gets unhappier and unhappier every year that goes by. Bringing about the fountain of youth into each individual, knowing and understanding that you are the age that you think you are. Time is just made up anyways. Someone decided how to calculate it, and we stuck with it. It's not the true time. as all this happiness flows through you, say, I am the me that is happy. There we go. Oh, they're perfect. Feel where that you is inside of you and allow it to expand. It's almost like a gelatin-like person, like expanding within you, pushing out anything within you that's the root of your issues, the stuff that you wrote down earlier that you journaled about, all the things that just don't belong within you. There's no place for them anymore. You can see like, I'm seeing like worms coming out of people's backs. Hold on, I'm gonna take a second to clear you guys. Ooh, it's making me itchy. Super itchy. There we go. And as that you inside, that plasmic bodied you, aka your Christ body, as that expands and grows, it brings about the true tone of gold throughout your entire body, releasing you of any heavy metals, aluminum, tin, mercury, anything that's in your body, but it's not a balanced amount. But you must understand that you came onto this earth to be densified. And these metals and other things are how you're densified. But everything in moderation. So releasing any heavy metals, any elements from this earth that are trapped within the body due to emotions or feelings that have not been released. Those are now transmuted with the gold into pure nothingness and bringing about the light, whatever light each individual needs in order to balance out their system, their mind, their body, their neurotransmitters, their spinal, their neurological system, their brain, everything, just balancing them out now. And you're going to feel, this is called a physical flush that I do on you guys. You're just going to feel literally like something come down, like almost like a plunger, but it's not a plunger, it's flat. It's just going to like yank stuff off the top of your head. Gross stuff is going to come out, and then it's just going to, a ton of just pure, clean, Christed waters are just going to go whoosh straight through you. So on the count of 10, some of you, you're already trying to picture it, but you have to wait for me to do it. 10, 9, 8, there's the thing. 7, just pop the top off. 6, 5, just pulled everything out that doesn't need to be there. 4, including this channel. There we go. 3, 2, 1, flush. Whoosh. Straight through your system. If you have mercury, you might see fish coming out of you. If you see tin, like little tin men, it doesn't matter. It's not just the metals, it's the emotions, it's the feelings, it's the diagnosis. Diagnosis kill. In this world, doctors are killers if they're just diagnosing based on things that they do not know. They need to be very, very careful, because the moment someone gets a diagnosis, they take on all the energies of all the others that have that diagnosis. They become a we. So before we end this exercise, what we'd like for you to do is to imagine at the bottom of your feet, between your 2 feet, the word me written, M-E. Imagine as block letters kind of standing up and starting to spin. And as it spins, it's going to spin around, going through your right leg and just almost like erasing it unpixelating it, like the pixel of it just dissolving up through your right hip, all the way up through the right side of your body, your arm, your head. When it gets to the top, it joins with a star. That star is your me. That star lands on the top of your head and begins to spin, and then does the same thing, but it goes down the left side of your body. This time it's illuminating you, bringing light, bright, beautiful energy into your life. For we must overemphasize this, children. Right now, the world is at a breaking point. You can either fight or just choose not to. Many of you feel like you have to fight for no vaccine or fight for this politician or fight for that, but what kind of life are you having at home with your children right now? What kind of life are you scaring them? Are you making them fearful? What kind of life are you living stressed out about something that may or may not happen? If you're a creator, you can transmute anything. Just remember this. Oh God, they're gonna have this song. I crack up at the songs when I listen to this later on. I'm just gonna turn this mic off. Each of you sit upon your own boat right now. Each of you sit and rock with the ebbs and flows of the earth, of the waters. You may choose to watch the media. You may choose to use that as your reality. You may choose to use your heart as your reality. You may choose to use your reality as your reality. But either way, no matter where your reality lies, it must lie within your me, not your we. What we'd like for you to do is to imagine actually sitting in a boat, rocking back and forth. You are now your me. And that me came before God, came before a source, came before awareness. That me will be you forever. That me is the one that lit the eternal flame. So imagine sitting in a boat with the flame in your hand, but it's white. A little bit of blue. It's so hot it's cold. Or so cold it's hot. Either way. And listen to the words that we have to say.
Like a small boat on the ocean, sending big waves into motion. Like how a single bird can make a heart open.
The waves are fear. Change them from fear to safety. For living in this world right now, living in this place, living in this space is hard. Almost impossible. Removing all implants. Removing all need to fight in order to feel relevant. Imagine being in that boat and a huge tidal wave of safety pouring over you. That eternal flame still burning bright. Imagine in front of you the you that you worry about, the you that everyone worries about. They're a projection in front of you. And then just imagine that eternal flame in your hand just blow and it'll fly out. Heal that you, heal anyone connected to you, and come right back to you. You do not need to fight to bring your life back. Your life is here. Bringing a huge ball of white energy from above you. To bring back to you all the times that you thought you needed to fight and you didn't. All the times you fought that you shouldn't have. Bringing back all projections and reflections to you. And as they come back, a huge beam of light from above you just shines down. And it starts to dissolve your boat away. Calms the ocean. You're left with no boat, floating on your back, looking up at the sky on a calm, placid ocean. Imagine being pulled down under the water, but you can breathe underneath. Right here. Delete. Okay, had to delete that imprint. Right at the end, they had a little imprint there for you. So I had you go under the water. So imagine you're under the water. You can see under the water. These are healing waters that'll bring you anything that you want, anything that you need. Like with me, they're the hot springs. Maybe they're the ocean or whatever. The very bottom of the ocean, there is a jewel that you can see shining bright. It's a diamond. You're going to swim down to that. And when you touch it, your entire body is going to crystallize and just shatter. And you're going to realize that you are not your body. You are not physicality. You're an essence. You're a knowing. You're living within a being now, but you're much more than that being. You're the light that was shining out of that diamond. Say, I am the light. Please show me what it feels like. I am the light that casts itself upon that diamond and like that disco ball shines out all these fractals of selves. As the light, I am now the light. I call back all pieces of me now that have been led astray. I command that all pieces that have been sold or given away, traded away, that those vows, those pacts, those contracts be uncreated, and all lessons, all virtues, all values that were meant to come to each individual due to these vows, pacts, and commitments, either in this lifetime, in the physical, in the spiritual, or in another lifetime. It is commanded as the light that I am that they all be collected, all cords be disconnected, and that these connections are severed forever and ever and ever, never to return, leaving the light intact within me, the light. Say, by the law of correspondence, my physical body now represents the light. Do a scan up and down throughout your entire body. Feel if there's any areas of your body that don't have the light. And then just say, I command that the bright light from my knee, copy and paste it to wherever it needs to go. Just copy and paste, kind of like on a computer, copy and paste. Ask to be shown where your eternal light is, and ask to be shown where your diamond is, and ask to be shown where your star is, and write it in the comment section. Eternal flame, diamond, and star. And also ask to see where Earth is. Make sure to kind of rub the bottom of your feet. Jeez. Get like the bottom of your left foot and kind of like rub your feet, like wake them up. A lot of you guys have numb toes. That's because you've been having your foot dipped within the old earth, getting all wrapped up in politics and getting all wrapped up in he said, she said this, and I heard that, and I heard this, and we get it, you're bored. But there's much better things to do in life than to gossip. Because unless you're there, unless you hear it, then you're just gossiping. So we release each individual of the obligation to gossip, to pass the time. And as that's released from you, new purpose, new enlightenment, new vision, new downloads, new ideas, new strengths, new truths, new friends, new allies, new teams will be here on this place we call Terra Nova, on this new earth, this new consciousness, this new place that began in 2012, but it's taken this long, 7 years for every mirror. This is why they say 7 years bad luck. It's because it took you 7 years to catch up. 7 years to catch up with the real world when we shifted in December of 2012. But now you're shifted. We bless each and every one of you. And we say unto you this. You are strong. You are powerful. You are relentless in what it is that you want. You must figure out what it is you want, because if you don't know what you want, you'll continue to get what you don't want. So write down the things you want now. Write out the life you want to live now. The house you want, the car you want, the family you want, the career you want, all of that. Write it all out now as this full, whole aspect of yourself, your complete consciousness, coupled with your awareness, infused with your spirit, and with God's hand upon you. We bless you. We love you. And we will see you soon, tomorrow, indeed. And, oh no. I, Luke, would like to say to each of you, it's not very nice that this channel doesn't let me talk. You guys do your journal. If you would just listen, woman, you would understand and see. You would understand and see that I'm quite brilliant. And as I bring these messages unto you, we say unto each and every one of you that you all have a God self, a created self that you see as brilliant like me, for I'm this channel's God self. But this is a joke in essence, the way that I talk, because this is what you expect God to be, glorifying themselves from a mountaintop to you. God's never going to come to you on a mountaintop. God's never going to flail his arms about and say, I'm great, I'm great. God's not even going to incarnate to come down and walk upon you, because God is already walking upon all of you within each of you. Call upon that God self and ask yourself, why don't I believe that God could be within me? 9 of you. You don't even have a God self. You've given up on God. 12 of you. God's way over there. Call him back in. It's you. I myself prefer to stand upon the shoulder, which is the mount of the human etheric body, which is he's like at my 2 o'clock. I don't have to listen to the ludicrous thoughts that go through the woman's mind. You know what? He says, you would be laughing if you could see what I could see. In fact, look what I can see. Oh my God. I just heard Peter go, yes. Peter, I just saw through Luke's eyes what we actually look like, you guys. Ask to see from your God self's eyes what you actually look like. We're like, I look like a hairy wildebeest. Anyone else see what they look like? It's actually kind of hilarious and scary at the same time. I'd love to hear what Glenn says have to say about Jupiter. Who's Stretch Armstrong? Oh, are you stretchy, Glenn? That's one layer of consciousness that we are. Okay, that's a Gumby. Okay, so ask to be removed from any sort of plastic layer of yourself. The plastic won't allow you to conduct energy. The plastic goes around you. It's in me and Bill's book on climate change that he pulled because he didn't believe that climate change was not real. Interesting. Well, I see them as Gumbies. Ask if it's the same thing I see as a Gumby. Miriam, I did too. I look like a pilot. I look like the poop emoji. I was like, just like with hair coming out of it. I was like, gross. So how can we heal that, Luke? He says, now you talk to me. He says, take this. He was handing me something. He says, 3, 3. It has a bunch of ones around it. He says, take it. Throw it at yourself that you're staring at, and it'll just go. Says it'll bring oneness. It'll bring the Trinity. The third 3 would be you. That is reuniting with. It'll clear you. Many of you will lose a lot of weight. Many of you will become healthy. Many of you will lose addictions from this pure and simple technique that I could have told you hours ago, but she wouldn't let me talk. I didn't know you were here. Okay, Luke. Was too busy dealing with the electronics. He goes, oh, that was us. Why'd you guys do that? He said there were 15 people that needed to see this that didn't have tickets, and that even though they didn't get the healing, that at least they got the gist. Well, have they all seen it now, Luke?